Hello and welcome to our channel recap revolution for yet another book summary video. In this video, we will be summarizing the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. In this book summary of How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, I will provide an overview of the timeless principles and practical techniques for building strong relationships, improving communication skills, and achieving success in personal and professional life. Please subscribe and open your notifications for more awesome content to come. Brief summary of How to Win Friends and Influence People. How to Win Friends and Influence People is a classic self-help book that provides practical techniques and timeless principles for building positive relationships, improving communication skills, and achieving success in personal and professional life. The book is divided into 4 sections, each focusing on different aspects of interpersonal relationships. In the first section, Carnegie introduces the fundamental techniques in handling people, emphasizing the importance of understanding others' perspectives, avoiding criticism, and expressing appreciation. The second section presents 6 ways to make people like you, including techniques such as smiling, being a good listener, and showing genuine interest in others. The third section covers how to win people to your way of thinking, outlining techniques such as arousing enthusiasm, using positive language, and giving honest and sincere appreciation. In the final section, Carnegie provides guidance on becoming a leader and changing people without giving offense or arousing resentment. He highlights the importance of being a good listener, admitting mistakes, and giving others a fine reputation to live up to. Overall, How to Win Friends and Influence People is a must-read for anyone looking to improve their relationships and communication skills, and it provides practical advice that can be applied to all aspects of life. Section 1. Fundamental Techniques in Handling People. In the first section of the book, author Dale Carnegie introduces the fundamental techniques for handling people. The main idea behind this section is that by understanding and practicing these techniques, one can improve their relationships and influence with others. One of the key points Carnegie emphasizes is the importance of showing genuine interest in others. He provides numerous examples of how people respond positively when they feel that someone is genuinely interested in them. One such example is that of Charles Schwab, who was able to increase worker productivity simply by asking them for feedback and suggestions. Another key point is the need to avoid criticizing others and instead focus on positive reinforcement. Carnegie provides the example of a mother who is able to improve her son's grades by praising him for his achievements rather than scolding him for his mistakes. By focusing on positive reinforcement, we can encourage others to continue their good behavior. Carnegie also stresses the importance of understanding others' perspectives and emotions. He provides the example of Abraham Lincoln, who was able to calm a heated debate by acknowledging the other person's point of view and expressing empathy. By acknowledging others' emotions and perspectives, we can build stronger relationships and gain their trust. Another important technique Carnegie introduces is the art of making people feel important. He provides examples of successful businessmen who credit their success to making their employees feel valued and appreciated. By making others feel important, we can create a positive and productive work environment. Finally, Carnegie discusses the importance of apologizing when we are wrong. He provides an example of a businessman who saved his company from a lawsuit by apologizing and admitting fault. By apologizing, we can show humility and gain the respect of others. Overall, the fundamental techniques for handling people outlined in this section emphasize the importance of treating others with respect, empathy, and kindness. By understanding and practicing these techniques, we can improve our relationships and influence with others, both in our personal and professional lives. Section 2. 6 Ways to Make People Like You. The second section of How to Win Friends and Influence People focuses on 6 fundamental ways to make people like you. The first key point is to become genuinely interested in other people. The author emphasizes that people love to talk about themselves and their interests, so taking an interest in others is essential to building strong relationships. For instance, the author recounts a story about a man who was able to win over a millionaire by asking him questions about his hobby of collecting rare stamps. By showing a genuine interest in the millionaire's passion, the man was able to make a positive impression and build a strong connection. The second key point is to smile. According to the author, a smile is one of the most powerful ways to make a positive first impression and to put people at ease. The author cites a study conducted by a leading advertising agency that found that a smiling face was more effective at selling products than a serious or neutral face. The author also tells the story of a salesman who was able to win over a skeptical customer by simply smiling and being friendly. The third key point is to remember people's names. The author argues that a person's name is the sweetest sound in any language, and that remembering someone's name can make them feel valued and respected. The author provides numerous examples of successful people who were known for their ability to remember names, including former U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt and prominent businessman John D. Rockefeller. The author also shares a personal anecdote about a friend who was able to win over a hostile crowd by simply remembering the names of the people in the audience. The fourth key point is to be a good listener. The author stresses the importance of listening actively and attentively to others, rather than simply waiting for one's turn to speak. The author tells the story of a prominent lawyer who was able to win over a jury by listening carefully to their concerns and addressing them directly in his closing argument. The fifth key point is to talk in terms of the other person's interests. The author notes that people are much more interested in hearing about themselves than they are in hearing about others, so talking about a person's interests and passions is an effective way to build rapport. The author shares a personal story about how he was able to win over a young man by asking him questions about his favorite author and engaging him in a conversation about literature. The sixth and final key point is to make the other person feel important. The author argues that people have an innate desire to feel valued and respected, so acknowledging and affirming a person's accomplishments and achievements is a powerful way to build a strong relationship. The author provides numerous examples of successful people who were known for their ability to make others feel important, including former U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt and businessman Charles Schwab. The author also shares a personal story about how he was able to win over a group of employees by acknowledging their hard work and contributions to the company. In conclusion, the second section of How to Win Friends and Influence People provides readers with 6 powerful ways to make people like them. By becoming genuinely interested in others, smiling, remembering names, being a good listener, talking in terms of the other person's interests, and making the other person feel important, readers can build strong and lasting relationships with others. Through real-life examples and practical advice, the author emphasizes the importance of empathy, understanding, and kindness in building strong relationships, and encourages readers to focus on the needs and desires of others rather than their own. Section 3. How to win people to your way of thinking. How to win people to your way of thinking is one of the most crucial sections of the book, as it teaches readers how to persuade and influence others positively. The key points of this section include avoiding arguments, showing respect, and arousing in others an eager want. Carnegie emphasizes the importance of understanding human nature and catering to people's emotional needs to win them over. One example from the book on how to avoid arguments is when Carnegie shares a story about a businessman who lost his temper and almost lost a significant deal. The businessman was so upset that he couldn't see the situation from the other person's perspective. After calming down, he apologized, and they were able to come to a mutually beneficial agreement. By avoiding arguments and taking a step back, he was able to save the deal and maintain a positive relationship with the other person. Showing respect is another key point that Carnegie discusses in this section. He shares an example of how the founder of the Boy Scouts, Sir Robert Baden-Powell, treated his young scouts with respect and dignity, even calling them sir and treating them like gentlemen. By showing respect, Baden-Powell was able to earn the trust and loyalty of his scouts, who in turn worked harder and accomplished more. Arousing in others an eager want is perhaps the most critical point in this section. Carnegie explains that people are more likely to do what they want to do than what they are told to do. He gives an example of how a magazine publisher used this principle to increase sales by changing their marketing strategy. Instead of focusing on the features of the magazine, they started highlighting the benefits readers would get from reading it. This new approach resulted in a significant increase in sales as readers were now eager to get the benefits that the magazine promised. Carnegie also stresses the importance of being genuinely interested in other people and understanding their needs and desires. He shares an example of how the owner of a hotel was able to build a loyal customer base by remembering his guests' names and making them feel valued. By understanding their needs and desires, he was able to provide them with a personalized experience, which resulted in repeat business and positive word of mouth. Overall, How to Win People to Your Way of Thinking teaches readers the art of persuasion and influence. By avoiding arguments, showing respect, arousing in others an eager want, being genuinely interested in other people, and catering to their emotional needs, readers can win people over to their way of thinking and achieve success in their personal and professional lives. Section 4. Be a leader. How to change people without giving offense or rousing resentment. In this section, Dale Carnegie discusses the importance of being a leader and how to effectively influence others without causing offense or resentment. He emphasizes that true leaders do not use force or manipulation to get what they want, but rather inspire and motivate others to work towards a common goal. One key point of this section is to begin with praise and honest appreciation. Carnegie explains that people are more willing to listen and be influenced when they feel valued and respected. He provides several examples of this principle in action, such as when he coached a businessman on how to handle a difficult employee. By first praising the employee's positive qualities and accomplishments, the businessman was able to successfully address the employee's negative behavior without causing resentment. Another key point is to call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. Carnegie argues that directly criticizing someone's mistakes or faults can cause them to become defensive and resistant to change. Instead, he recommends using indirect approaches such as asking questions or making suggestions. One example he provides is when a manager needed to correct a subordinate's sloppy work. Rather than directly pointing out the mistakes, the manager asked questions that led the subordinate to realize the errors on their own and take responsibility for fixing them. Carnegie also emphasizes the importance of giving people a sense of ownership and control over their work. He suggests asking for their opinions and ideas and giving them the freedom to make decisions and take initiative. One example he provides is when a foreman at a steel company asked his workers for suggestions on how to improve efficiency. By implementing the workers' ideas and giving them credit for the improvements, the foreman was able to motivate them to work harder and take pride in their work. Furthermore, Carnegie stresses the importance of praising people in front of others. He argues that public recognition not only makes people feel valued and appreciated, but also motivates others to do better. He gives an example of a teacher who publicly praised a student for their excellent performance, which not only boosted the student's confidence, but also motivated the rest of the class to work harder. Lastly, Carnegie advises to make the other person happy about doing the thing you suggest. He suggests highlighting the benefits and positive outcomes of the desired action, rather than focusing on the drawbacks or negatives. One example he gives is when a car salesman encouraged a customer to purchase a more expensive car by emphasizing the safety features and long-term savings, rather than simply the cost. In conclusion, the key to being a successful leader and influencer is to treat people with respect, appreciation, and empathy. By beginning with praise, calling attention to mistakes indirectly, giving people a sense of ownership and control, publicly praising their accomplishments, and making them happy about taking the desired action, one can effectively influence others without causing offense or resentment. Section 5. The Secret of Socrates. In this section, the author introduces the Socratic method, which is a way of questioning others in a non-threatening way that helps to guide them to the desired conclusion. The key point of this section is that asking questions can be a powerful tool for getting others to see your point of view. The author gives an example of how he used the Socratic method to change the behavior of a group of employees who were constantly arriving late for work. Instead of reprimanding them, he asked them a series of questions that led them to realize the negative consequences of their behavior on their colleagues and the company as a whole. This helped them to become more punctual without feeling attacked or defensive. Another example given in this section is how the Socratic method was used by Abraham Lincoln to sway a jury in a case he was trying. Rather than making a direct argument, Lincoln asked a series of questions that led the jury to the desired conclusion. The author emphasizes the importance of asking questions that are not leading or manipulative, but genuinely curious and aimed at helping the other person to see things in a different light. He also warns against using the Socratic method to deceive or manipulate others. One key point of the Socratic method is that it can be used to get others to think critically and come to their own conclusions, rather than simply telling them what to do or think. This can be useful in a variety of settings, such as in negotiations or sales. Finally, the author notes that the Socratic method can be challenging to use effectively, as it requires a deep understanding of the other person's perspective and the ability to ask the right questions. However, with practice, it can become a valuable tool for anyone looking to influence others in a positive way. Section 6. The Safety Valve in Handling Complaints. Section 6 of the book teaches the importance of handling complaints effectively. Handling complaints can be a challenging task, and it requires a lot of patience, empathy, and active listening skills. One of the key points of this section is to always listen to the customer's complaints and acknowledge their feelings. This can be done by using phrases like, "I can understand how you feel," or "I'm sorry to hear that this has happened." By acknowledging the customer's feelings, you can help to calm them down and make them feel heard. Another important point is to avoid arguing with the customer. Arguing with the customer will only make the situation worse and can escalate the problem. Instead, try to find common ground with the customer and focus on resolving the issue together. Dale Carnegie also suggests using the yes and technique to handle complaints. This technique involves agreeing with the customer's complaint and adding additional information to show that you are taking their concerns seriously. For example, "Yes, I understand that the product didn't meet your expectations, and we are working to improve its quality." Furthermore, it's essential to take action to resolve the complaint promptly. Customers want to see that their complaints are taken seriously and that something is being done to address the issue. By taking swift action, you can not only resolve the complaint, but also turn an unhappy customer into a loyal one. For instance, a restaurant could offer a complimentary meal or discount to a customer who had a negative experience with their food. This gesture could show the customer that the restaurant values their feedback and is willing to take steps to improve their experience. In summary, handling complaints effectively is crucial for maintaining good customer relations. By listening actively, avoiding arguments, finding common ground, using the yes and technique, and taking prompt action, businesses can turn complaints into opportunities to improve their products and services and build loyal customer relationships. Section 7. 7 Rules for Making Your Home Life Happier. Section 7 of the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, is dedicated to providing practical advice for creating a happy and harmonious home life. Carnegie emphasizes the importance of treating family members with respect and kindness, as well as fostering an environment of positivity and cooperation. Here are the key points from this section, along with multiple examples from the book. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Carnegie stresses the importance of avoiding criticism and negative comments towards family members, as they can be hurtful and create resentment. Instead, he advises focusing on positive reinforcement and constructive feedback. For example, he cites a case study of a mother who stopped criticizing her daughter and instead praised her for her accomplishments, leading to a stronger and more positive relationship between the two. Give honest and sincere appreciation. Expressing genuine gratitude and appreciation towards family members can help create a more positive and loving environment at home. Carnegie advises being specific in one's praise and expressing it sincerely. For instance, he tells the story of a man who showed appreciation towards his wife by writing her a heartfelt letter detailing all the things he loved about her, which strengthened their marriage. Arouse in the other person an eager want. Carnegie encourages readers to consider the desires and interests of family members and to help them achieve their goals. He shares an anecdote about a husband who helped his wife pursue her dream of becoming a professional singer by providing support and encouragement, which ultimately led to her success. Become genuinely interested in other people. Showing a genuine interest in the lives and passions of family members can help create stronger relationships and foster a sense of mutual respect. Carnegie provides an example of a father who became interested in his son's hobby of stamp collecting, which helped them bond and led to a deeper understanding between them. Smile. Smiling can create a more positive and welcoming environment at home and can help diffuse tense situations. Carnegie tells the story of a woman who used a smile to diffuse an argument with her husband, leading to a peaceful resolution. Remember that a person's name is, to that person, the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Using family members' names and addressing them by their preferred titles can show respect and create a sense of intimacy. Carnegie shares an example of a father who addressed his son by his preferred nickname, which helped create a closer relationship between them. Be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. Listening actively and attentively can show respect and create a sense of validation for family members. Carnegie tells the story of a husband who learned to listen to his wife's problems instead of trying to solve them, which ultimately helped her feel heard and validated. Overall, Section 7 of How to Win Friends and Influence People provides practical and timeless advice for creating a happy and harmonious home life. By treating family members with respect and kindness, expressing genuine appreciation, and fostering an environment of positivity and cooperation, readers can build stronger relationships and achieve greater happiness in their personal lives. Section 8. A Shortcut to Distinction, the chapter that could change your life. In this final section of Dale Carnegie presents a powerful principle for achieving success and distinction in life. He emphasizes the importance of standing out from the crowd and becoming exceptional in a particular area. Carnegie argues that most people are content with mediocrity and are not willing to put in the effort to become truly exceptional. However, those who are willing to take the extra step to become outstanding will enjoy greater success and recognition. One key point that Carnegie makes in this section is the importance of developing a specialized skill or knowledge in a particular field. He provides several examples of successful individuals who have become exceptional in a particular area. One such example is Edwin C. Barnes, who became Thomas Edison's partner by demonstrating his passion and dedication to Edison's invention. Barnes was determined to become a successful partner of Edison, and he succeeded by using his specialized knowledge of the sales industry to promote and sell Edison's products. Another key point that Carnegie makes in this section is the importance of going the extra mile to deliver exceptional value to others. He explains that successful individuals are not satisfied with merely meeting expectations, but strive to exceed them. One example of this is Henry Ford, who revolutionized the automobile industry by mass-producing cars at a low cost. Ford went the extra mile by continuously improving his manufacturing processes to deliver greater value to his customers. Carnegie also emphasizes the importance of having a positive attitude and enthusiasm for one's work. He cites the example of Charles Schwab, who motivated his steelworkers to increase their productivity by expressing his confidence in their abilities and praising their achievements. Schwab's positive attitude and enthusiasm for his work inspired his employees to work harder and achieve greater success. In addition, Carnegie stresses the importance of continuous learning and self-improvement. He argues that successful individuals are never satisfied with their current level of knowledge and are always seeking new ways to improve themselves. One example of this is Benjamin Franklin, who devoted his life to learning and self-improvement. Franklin was an avid reader and constantly sought to expand his knowledge in various fields, which helped him become one of the most successful and influential figures of his time. Overall, Carnegie's message in this section is clear. To achieve success and distinction in life, one must be willing to go the extra mile, develop specialized knowledge, deliver exceptional value, maintain a positive attitude and enthusiasm, and continuously learn and improve oneself. By following these principles, anyone can become outstanding and achieve their goals. Conclusion. In conclusion, How to Win Friends and Influence People is a timeless classic that has helped millions of people achieve success and happiness in their personal and professional lives. Through its practical advice and real-life examples, the book teaches readers how to communicate effectively, build strong relationships, and influence others positively. It emphasizes the importance of empathy, understanding, and kindness, and encourages readers to focus on the needs and desires of others rather than their own. Overall, How to Win Friends and Influence People is a must-read for anyone looking to improve their social skills, build strong relationships, and achieve their goals. Its principles are as relevant today as they were when the book was first published, and its message is one that everyone can benefit from. Thank you for staying with us thus far. See you in another summary video.